In the early 1970s, young Ted Bundy appeared to have it all: charm, intelligence, and ambition. But beneath the surface, his fantasies had turned violent. This was the moment when Bundy's mask began to slip, and women started disappearing. These are the chilling beginnings of Ted Bundy's killing spree. Bundy spent the early 1970s at the University of Washington, blending effortlessly into campus life. He studied law, volunteered at political campaigns, and appeared to be the perfect gentleman. But behind this polished exterior, Bundy was hunting. In 1974, young women began vanishing from Washington state. Attractive, intelligent, often students themselves, they had one thing in common: they crossed paths with Ted Bundy. Bundy's tactic was simple but effective. He faked injuries, wore slings or crutches, and asked for help carrying books or loading his car. His victims never suspected that the polite young man with a warm smile was leading them to their deaths. In January 1974, Bundy's violence erupted. His first confirmed attack was on 18-year-old Karen Sparks, a University of Washington student. She was assaulted in her bed but miraculously survived, though with permanent injuries. Only weeks later, Bundy escalated to murder. On February 1st, 21-year-old Linda Ann Healy disappeared from her Seattle home. Her bed was neatly made, her nightgown missing. Bundy had struck again, this time leaving no trace of her alive. Throughout 1974, Bundy's crimes continued. In March, Donna Gail Manson vanished from the Evergreen State College. In April, Susan Rancourt disappeared while walking home from a campus event. By the summer, fear was spreading across Washington. But Bundy wasn't finished. His killings were becoming bolder and more frequent. Do you think Bundy's charm was his deadliest weapon? On July 14, 1974, Bundy made his boldest move. At Lake Sammamish State Park, packed with nearly 40,000 people, two women vanished on the same day. Witnesses described a handsome man named Ted, wearing a cast and asking for help with his sailboat. Janice Ott and Denise Naslund were never seen alive again. It was here that Bundy's mask began to crack. For the first time, multiple witnesses remembered his name, his appearance, and his car. The police finally had a lead. But catching Bundy would prove far more difficult than they ever imagined. By the end of 1974, young women across Washington lived in fear. A predator was hunting in plain sight, and authorities were finally beginning to close in. In our next episode, we'll follow Bundy's trail as he moves across states, escalating his crimes, leaving terror in his wake, and proving just how far he was willing to go to stay ahead of the law.